Okay, welcome back to the tutorial. We're going to do the trim work in this tutorial. It's going to be quite easy. We're going to use the existing wall plan to do it. The only thing I did off camera was this door to the closet, and I just dragged out a new copy of this bathroom door to make that, and I scaled it just as much or with the same method as we did using the front door. So if you did that, then you can put that in there. I forgot to actually do it, but since we did the front door with scaling, then it should be quite easy for you to scale a door and put it in there. So let's get to the trim work. Let's go into here and let's hide some things that we don't need right now, like the doors. Let's hide, yeah, that'll do. We can even hide the windows if we want to. And let's go on the walls layer. And yeah, click OK, or just X out of that. Okay, so when I click the walls, I will go into the modifier place, or the whatever, modify tab, and go to editable spline, and you'll get the CAD file that we used to actually create the walls. Now what I'm going to do is use the inside part of these splines to create the trim work. So what we're going to do is go to segment and select the insides of this. Alright. Just the insides of the room, the inside part of the hallway. And we won't do those little teeny tiny edges. We'll just go inside here and get the bedroom. Work our way around here. Okay, so this is the inside of the bedroom. We've got inside the hallway, except for this little part that doesn't matter because it's so small. Inside the kitchen area and the living room. So then we're going to go down, scroll down until we get to detach, and we're going to make sure that we click copy. Otherwise, if we just detach it, we're going to ruin the walls. So click copy, detach, and call it trim shape, so we can keep a track of it. And then we'll go back to extrude, and our walls are still there. But if you look closely, we'll have this gray edge that goes around, which is actually our trim shape. Okay. So now, in the left view, I want to create the shape of the trim. We have the path that we just created. Now, see, we probably just write that better. Instead of trim shape, trim path. And then we're going to create the actual shape. And we're going to create that out of a line. Okay. And before I do that, I'm going to actually measure some stuff. I'm going to measure about point, because this is very small trim I have. We'll say 0.35, and by about 3.5 inches in height. Okay, and let's zoom into this area. This is how big our trim is going to be. So I'm going to create it. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Doesn't matter. I'll go from the bottom to the top, hold down Shift to make a straight line, and click, and then let go of Shift. And then something like this. Let's delete that. One problem I see here is that I don't have this in the exact spot. There we go. Now let's do it. Click it, down Shift. We can come up with any pattern we want to, really. I'm going to come up with something fairly easy. Okay. And that should work. Should be an editable spline already. Hit 1 to bring up the vertices, and I'm going to just kind of bring that in like that. And I'm going to fillet this. Select both of those and do a fuse and weld. Same here, fuse and weld. Gives it a little bit of a, I don't know, design to it. So let's delete the tape measures. We don't need them. And if you want to, you can straighten this edge. Just tighten. There we go. That works. We can call this trim shape. Alright. So now what we do is we select our trim path, go to the modifier list and hit S, and then go down to sweep. And you'll see that it automatically will create something. Well, it's using something that's already built in. It's a built-in selection. And you can change it to anything you want to, really. See? All of that happiness. But what we want to do is create or use what we made. So we'll go use custom selection, pick, and select that. And that'll create it for us. Let's bring back our doors. Okay, and that's good. And let me back up just a little bit here. There we go. What I want to do is I have unchecked on mirror. If this is checked and it's backwards, uncheck it. Okay, and that'll bring it around. And if it's sitting inside your wall, do an offset, but not much, just a little bit. And just like that. So that it's still clung to the wall. Clinging, clung, something like that. Where it's just inside the wall. And you can hit F4 if you need to. Get in here to make sure these edges are actually going in it. And that'll look good right there. Okay, you can deselect, hit F4, and now we have trim that's going around it. And you notice that it's kind of below. It's not actually sitting on the thing. We can hit unhide the floor and you'll know that it's actually inside it. So let's, with that selected, we can Y offset, bring it up. Okay, hit F4 so you can see the bottom edges when it touches the floor. Just like that. And that's how we use the sweep modifier. So if you've never used it, now you have. So let's hide the ceiling and the floor. Alright, and that was easy. Alright, now our trim work's in. And it looks pretty good. Yep. And we made sure that it's actually that the door trim sticks out further than it. So everything looks good on that. The next thing I'm going to do is create the trim work for the molding, the chair rail, we call it. So let me select the wall, go back to segments, and what we can do is actually uncheck that. Select the trim. Alright, and we can call this, we can keep trim path, that's fine. Go to your layer manager and create new layer containing selected objects, and we can call it trim, just like that. Alright, and it should select that layer automatically. Alright, so what we'll do now is select the walls, go back to segment. Let's make sure we hide the trim layer for a second. Okay, we'll deselect everything and just select these two right here. And actually, it's not even that. Where am I? I'm getting lost here. Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. There's the door. Yeah, that's right. Make sure you select these two, and we're going to copy and detach and call it chair rail path. Okay, we'll make sure we have that, and then we'll select the chair rail path, W, which is the move tool. We'll center the pivot. Okay, and just bring it up a little bit. We can measure it in a little bit how high it will be off the ground. Just bring it up like that. Okay, and in the left view, what we'll do is, since this trim shape we no longer need it, we could delete it or we just leave it there for now. It doesn't matter. We'll clean up later. Lines, I'm going to create another one. I'll just use this as reference. We'll do half the size or just a little bit bigger. I'll create something. Let's make sure that, let's put ourselves on the wall layer so we can see it. And I'm just creating this custom looking thing. Because you can always tidy it back up by going in here and making sure that you tidy it up pretty well. Okay. Kind of make it even here. This in, like so. Kind of want it the same as this. We could have did a symmetry thing on it, but this is fine. If you found some custom wood shapes online, you can just trace them. But I'm going to use this. With these vertices selected, I'm going to give them a small fillet. And then with this selected, I'm going to give them another one. And with these, I'll give them a small fillet. And there we have that. And we can call this chair shape, just so we have it. Then back in this perspective, I'll select the chair rail path, modify list, go down to sweep. Okay. And then the custom should be over here where we had that. Custom selection, pick, or you can pick by name. And just select that. And there it is. I'll zoom in on it to see it. And we have it. Hit F4 and you can see that it's in there. Now it is a little too long, which is no problem because it actually stops here where the cabinets start. And I actually like the look of it. It seems the right size. Everything's looking nice on it. The smoothing is going perfectly. So we'll leave that as it is. And I'm going to right click it and convert it to an editable poly. Take the vertices and just bring them down some, just for now. And there we go. And now we have our railing, our chair rail. And chair rail is mainly for dining rooms and stuff like that, wherever the actual chairs are going to be sitting. So if you lean back, it doesn't destroy the wall. I'm going to select the trim path and convert it to an editable poly as well. And I'm going to select the trim, the chair rail, which I'll just call it chair rail now. And add it to that layer. Now if I hide it, all that goes away. Good deal. And then come back over here and just delete the two shapes. And the trim is in. So unhide the windows and the doors, which are unhid already. And we'll take a look at what we've got. And it's starting to come together really nicely. Alright, so the trim's in, the doors, the windows. Next up, I think we're going to move on and put the cabinets in. So, yeah, no luck with finding a game yet. I will find one. Don't you worry. But next up is the cabinet, so let's worry about that.